All right, so hold on one second. I'm not even prepared. I just joined onto this call really quickly.
Oh no, it's cool. We're not meant to start till 3, I don't think. You got 6 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I'm not used to being on time or even early, to be fair. Right. Right. So here's the thing. I had a list of questions, right? So I had a list of questions for you last week, and I was texting. I was like, saying to Chills, are we ready? And she goes, "What are we talking about? Like it's next week." So like I had all these questions for last week. No, I got nothing. This is the typical. Anyway, let's do this. You ready? Let's go. Lukan Online on Top of FM. I'm here with my special guest. She goes by the name of Alika. Alika, nice to meet you over Zoom.
Nice to meet you too.
How's it going? I know, am I one of the first today, or have you done a few already?
Done a couple, but you're still early in the
okay,
fun.
Right. So you're not tired just yet, then?
No,
not tired of the same questions just yet. All right. So Alika, just for the people that don't know who you are, who are you? What is it that you do?
My name's Alika. I'm an artist and songwriter from West London, and I'm also a sound engineer, studio owner.
So say again, you were breaking up. You just heard the word studio.
Sound engineer and studio owner.
Okay.
Studio.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. All right. So you've been brought to my attention recently through recent tracks that you've made. Is it Click?
Yeah, Click.
And so, but before that, it was a long time that I heard about you, and then I didn't hear anything for a while. So I don't know if you were busy working behind the scenes doing engineering, or if you were making music. But the first time you came to, I saw you was 2015, 16, the Mobo's Unsung.
Yeah.
And you won that. I remember you doing an interview with the Mobo's Unsung. So that's the first time I saw you. What have you been doing? Oh, so actually, tell us about the Mobo Unsung first. So how did you enter that competition, and then what happened after that?
So I entered the Mobo Unsung competition. I came across it on social media. I entered it with a freestyle that I had done for SBTV, because I had a couple songs on SoundCloud, but like you said, I hadn't really started releasing my music yet properly to DSPs. And I won Mobo Unsung, which, if you saw, was a complete shock to me. And then from there, I met a few people, and I happened to go to a networking event where I met Rob from Click, and he sent me a track which happened to be the beat for Wavy. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with Wavy, but we did that the year after I won Mobo Unsung, and it blew up like really crazy. And so from that, I became a published writer. And I spent a year doing like a lot of writing, and also like we put out Anything I Do with Miss Banks and Click, so that's the first time we collaborated. So I've done a lot of I guess like collaborations, features with Click during that time, and Robin, who's from Click, he has a solo project. But I was also just working all that time on my own music and deciding what my sound would be, and I've decided that it's just going to be what it feels like.
I was going to say because the most recent music that I've heard from you is very, very different. So what are you looking for in terms of your own sound? Like you're just happy to go with whatever feels good at the time?
I feel like anyone who's kind of like followed my journey for a while, the stuff I've dropped most recently will be more familiar to them, with me as an artist. The dance stuff, I was really introduced to that by Click, and I just loved the music. I loved the beat, and I was like, what would I do on this? Do you know what I mean? And that is where I've found a love for not being so genre picky and just seeing what happens when I do my thing on any kind of beat. So I find like my genre is just me and like what I do. And it's not beat specific.
Where are you most comfortable?
I'm actually most comfortable probably like writing R&B songs. That's how I started. Like easily I could like just reel them off, and also I guess just spitting bars. Like I did that in the playground when I was younger. So I think just spitting bars and like writing some cool melodies is my thing, which is why I like to combine the both on every track.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so the two tracks that you've got with Click that I've heard, they're very, very, very similar, to the point where I had to go back and listen to the other one to see, have you tried to remake Wavy again? Did you, so was that a deliberate thing? I wanted to know
No,
that you made it.
I think that Click has a very signature bass sound.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna get a familiar feeling from every track. The bass lines are always quite Click stamped, but just obviously being in the sessions, they're different songs, like quite different process. Like Wavy was a completely different process, I feel like, to the others, but because it was solo originally, Anything I Do is the second one we did, and we did that like with Miss Banks. And then this third one, Google Me, it started off as like an idea with the guys, and it's like I just come on and like try and bar as hard as I can. But I do think that we have a formula when like we make music together, Click and I, that we use, and when we make music with other people, we have different formulas. Do you know what I mean?
So what's the name of that second song? Because I haven't actually heard that one. So I heard Wavy, and then I heard Google Me.
So Wavy, and then we did Anything I Do. We then did a club song called Rebel with a Cause.
Oh, okay. So I hadn't heard those ones.
Yeah, and then we did Google Me most recently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The video for Google Me is quite interesting. Was it Missy Elliott inspired at all?
Yeah, I am Missy Elliott inspired as a person. So the video was that.
Okay. Would you say that she's your favorite artist?
I wouldn't necessarily like say she's my favorite artist, but growing up, she was the most prominent, oh my God, I want to be like you artist that I ever saw. So maybe Miss Dynamite a bit, but still it was like Missy videos, Missy dancing, Missy barring, flowing. I'm like, I want to be Missy Elliott. And Eve as well. Yeah,
no, I hear that. And Eve.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. No, Eve was good. Eve was good. I actually did enjoy that. Actually, a lot of Eve's music. Whatever happened to it? Oh, no, she got married, didn't she?
She got married, yeah. But I'm like, I love Gwen Stefani as well. So I loved like the swag and girl power of that.
Fair enough. So you say you've got your own studio,
and
you're an engineer. How did you get involved in that? Is that something you studied, or is it something you just fell into?
I'd say like I could say kind of fell into, because I managed the studio quite really young, at like 16, with my friend. He's an engineer and he was doing it. And so like being in the studio all the time, I like picked up how to engineer. And then later in life, I had my daughter, and I was like kind of giving up on music as a viable career. And then I realized that it's just like working all them hours, and I wasn't going to be able to see her grow up. So I had thought, I'm going to try this studio thing again, because this was end of 2014, and like Stormzy had just come back, and I felt like people were going to start wanting to make music again. Like back in 2009-10, there was a bubbling that we've got now that's sustained, where people had a dream and they thought they could make it, and so people were booking a lot of studio time. And I kind of saw that if these kind of guys do make a name for themselves, and Stormzy's charting and that, people are going to get inspired and they're going to get back out wanting to record. So I set up the studio again, and like within a few weeks I had Cadet, God bless his soul, Novelist, like some really cool people found me on Twitter coming through. Like Wiley had retweeted and told everyone to come. I didn't know him at the time, do you know what I mean? But like it was a lot of like lovely good people just trying to support a woman trying to do something a bit different. And I got to quit my job and just run the studio, and that's actually how I fell back into recording myself.
Okay. Talking about being supporting a woman running a studio, you always hear things about like women in music and women producers and all the rest of it. What as a female in the industry, how do you feel you're perceived first and foremost? Like, do you think people take you seriously as an artist and or as an engineer? And what are the difficulties that you find, if any?
I do feel like people take me seriously, but I feel like it's because of my work and what I've earned for myself. I don't feel like it's always the same for men. I do feel like I do feel like men can a lot more time not so much, talent, and a lot more like boys club their way to success. I don't feel like we have a girls club that we can do that with, that kind of like nepotism. So I do find it's a struggle in that way, but I also don't really care too much about how people perceive me, or like it's my thing is very tunnel vision, because it's the only way it kind of works for me, to be very tunnel vision, just work hard. And I don't really know how much my gender, my race is affecting certain things, because I don't take too much time to look around and compare it to other people. But I do know pretty obviously that it's, as a rapper especially, you have to either be very good at what you're doing or bring something else to the table as a woman to get a look in.
So do you feel that there's an added pressure on you, for example, if you're in a room with other male rappers, do you think, okay, you need to go extra hard to prove a point? Or you don't?
No, because I just feel like I'm naturally really sick. Like not in a big-headed way. Not in a big-headed way at all. But I don't feel pressure. Like, I think Big Zoo is so sick. Like, one of the best MCs out right now. Like, when I was in session with him, he wrote his verse first, and I was just like, rah, this is lit though, because I'm just gonna be like on my rah now, because I just felt the energy matched. I didn't feel like I got spun off my tune or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? But it was fun to make because I felt like the bar was high.
Yeah, fair enough. Also, I assume that helps as well, because if someone's put down on paper like a verse that is so sick, then obviously you're gonna have to elevate your game anyway.
Yeah, like that's why my flow's kind of fast on that song, because it's like I want to say a lot right now, because Zoo just shut it down.
So let's talk about that. So you got the new EP, you got Big Zoo on the EP. Who else have you got featuring on this EP?
I got Trillery Banks, Brenya, and Courtney Bennett featuring, and then one song just me.
Okay. And talk to us about the EP. What's it called, and what inspired you to put together an actual body of work rather than releasing singles?
It's called Whiz, and I feel like even though the tracks I've been popular for releasing have been featured, I feel like a lot of people didn't see them that way. Like, because I'm the only vocal on it a lot of the time, or I'm the main vocal. And I just felt like you said, there's such a contrast between that and the music I actually make a lot of. And I felt like I wanted to put out a body of work just to introduce myself. This is what I make as Alika, but I'm a very versatile artist. I can jump on a song with pretty much anybody and do my thing, but this is what I like to make when it's just up to me.
Right, okay. So if you had to sell the EP to anyone who's not familiar with Alika, you've got this EP that's out right now. It's called, before we do that, actually, why is it called Whiz?
It's called Whiz because the first line that I came up with on Wavy was, let me tell you like this, I'm who you're looking for, I'm the Whiz. And like, I also feel, play on words, my journey has been quite unconventional, like a yellow brick road, kind of like Wizard of Oz story. And I just keep meeting these sick, unique people along the way who allow me to stay independent and like have this sick career, I feel, because of these sick people I'm meeting along the way, like on my yellow brick road. So yeah. That's why it's called Whiz. And they're all part of the EP,
Okay. So as I was going to say, if you had to sell this EP to anybody who's listening right now, who's not familiar with you and your sound, how would you sell it to the public?
I would sell it by saying that there's definitely a bit of something for everybody. It's fun, it's real, it's honest, and it's definitely a vibe. Like, the beats on there will get you moving whether you want to or not. So yeah.
No, all right, cool. Thank you very much. Before the end of 2020, is there anything that we can expect from you? Obviously, the EP's out now. Visuals, performances, anything like that?
Obviously, like with the way the live industry is right now, I would love to get out and perform my EP so much. Like that would be a massive yes. I want to do that. So if anything does come up, I will jump at the opportunity. But I'm also gonna, just work on pushing my EP more. Probably like maybe work on doing a bit of a like live video stuff for people of the tracks. Keep pushing it, and then maybe also do a couple more features. So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Is there anything that you haven't told anybody yet that might be of interest to the people listening or watching this video? A little secret about you, whether it be someone that you're working with, you have worked with, something that you're planning to do?
I would say that
was it Amazon?
Probably. I have to wait. But there's a song on my EP that you might hear on an advert for a big tech company soon.
Okay, all right. But you can't say who.
No, I can't say who. But
Alika, go and get your package. Thank you very much for joining me on this Zoom. Thank you. Take care.
See ya.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Jesus Christ. They really want to see my package.